All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, it's our pleasure to present to you the newest name in Delaware sports and sports around the world, who has had absolutely no success in the real world, so he's dedicated his life to talking sports. He's known to be prickly and very opinionated. It's time to get in the huddle with your host, Coach Muddle.
All right, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. Happy Sunday, man. Happy Sunday. I'm excited. We got a lot to get to. Obviously, Nevada Nick has a lot of Eagles stuff to go over. We got to talk about the Giants and their impeachment by the fans of that idiot Gettleman. And also, we have a little playoff baseball. I mean, it's really coming down. The Yankees, I mean, Christ, today. So we got a lot to get to. And, of course, Tom Brady. I mean, he is going to be – I believe he's the only guy to beat every team. I think this is – if he wins tonight, he will have – if he wins, he'll be able to – he'll say he's beaten all 32 teams, which is pretty impressive, you know.
So, it is. It really is, especially, too, with, you only play one team. He'll probably never play the Patriots again because next time, obviously, I guess he could play. If he plays the 50, he'll play them in, I guess it would be 4 years.
Right.
But, it'll be in Tampa Bay. But still, yeah. So, I mean, that's really to see yet. We'll see about that. But, I mean, to me, this is one of the – I mean, for a regular season game, I know we've had some good, but – just with the storyline behind it, I mean, this is like the game of the decade, man.
Right.
The hype's huge. I mean, we were talking about it last week, Coach. It's big, and look, I'm looking forward to it. I know a lot of people think Brady's gonna just kill him, and I tend to agree with that. But you can never doubt Bill Belichick. You know what I mean? And
What's up, Sammy?
If you don't think Belichick wants this one too, Coach, then you're kidding yourself. Because I guarantee, Tom went and won that Super Bowl. Belichick wants to get a feather in his cap, too, and get the head-to-head win. I mean, not that I think that would obviously trump Tom's Super Bowl, but still, it's a feather in your cap that you took
absolutely
to beat the highly favored Bucs team.
Right, and you kept Tom from beating the one team. That would be, I think, the only blemish on his accomplishments would not be in beating all 32 teams,
Right.
So
Coach, is it okay if I start with my atrocious Eagles performance?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I know you're chomping at the bits.
We weren't. Obviously, you had computers issues Thursday. It was a disgrace. It really was. Now look, Cowboys played well. Not taking anything from the Cowboys. Cowboys were the better team. Cowboys are going to run away with the NFC East, and they should. They're the better team. I thought it was the teams were closer. Cowboys aren't that much better than them. Obviously, I'm not making excuses. Jordan Mailata out. Honestly, which was my fault. I didn't even know that their left tackle was out. I guess it happened over the weekend. But once again, you got to look at the training stamp or something because this keeps happening with the Eagles. Now they're down their left tackle, left guard, right guard, and that's a huge concern. But my biggest problem is, I got to keep saying it, Coach, run the ball. Run the ball.
I have to agree. I mean, did he even touch the ball in the first quarter? I don't think
Not
Sanders.
1 minute left in the first, okay? But Miles Sanders has 2 rushes. He's your most polished offensive weapon. And this guy, he's barely getting used. He's averaging 5.3 yards a rush. And it was the same thing with Doug. And now you got a young quarterback, and you're having
the pressure off
his life and throw the ball around. And then people want to say, the Eagles defense. After 22 minutes, the time of possession was 18-4. When your defense is on the field that much, they're going to fall apart in the second half. It's going to happen. Sirianni, you get 2 beautiful passes, after the Dallas went right down the field, obviously. But then he has that Hurts. It was a bad throw. Rager, just be gone. Be gone. Fight for that football. Fight for that ball. He just lets the defender jump up and take it. I mean, it was a bad throw by Hurts, too. He should have just checked it down. I mean, those are the mistakes you just can't make in big games, especially big divisional games against teams you're hoping to fight for the division. But, right. I mean, Sirianni looks like a dope. And it's a shame because week one, and I'm one of the people that did it, I think
they were firing up the Mummers. You guys were firing up the Mummers. I mean, getting a parade going after week one.
They could contend possibly for the division. I didn't think they were going to make the Super Bowl or a playoff run or anything. But, man, you talk about a coach who after week one was and now is just in a toilet. And then the other thing, like after in the press conference, they asked Sirianni, why didn't you go for it on Nick, why didn't you go for it on 4th and 5? He's like, well, I looked at my chart and it said not to go. Like, I mean, you can't make that decision. And you know what? I don't got a problem with if you want to use analytics as part of your decision. And that factors in. But you know, Coach, this is what the biggest thing is. It's the feel, understanding your team, knowing when to go, when not to go. Not some fucking chart. And looking down and being some fucking robot and saying, ooh, now we're supposed to go on 4th and 5. Oh, well, we got to go for 2 because, at this time it says, it's taken these coaches now. They suck. Look at McCarthy. He had the referee last week telling him, you want to call a timeout? Don't you want to call a timeout? And McCarthy had no clue what to do. That's the 4th and 5 I speak of that Sirianni didn't go for it. And McCarthy didn't call a timeout. I mean, he should have. Coach Sammy said Coach Muddle loves the chart.
You're damn right. You're damn right, Sammy. I had the chart.
Sammy, in regards to Jalen, look, it's still wait and see for me. I'm not like everybody else saying, but look, his accuracy issues are definitely are a problem. But it's still early. You can't say he's not, because Jalen Hurts can do some things. Go ahead, Coach.
No, well, what I was going to say, it's the offense is that's part of the problem too. You're making the kid throw the ball 100 times. Of course, he's going to look horrible. Right. I mean, run the football, throw in some play action, let the kid run the edge and do the things he did in college. Right. You'll see a better quarterback. I just don't, I don't think you could blame the kid. I think I blame more of the offense instead.
Right. And put him in position to succeed. That first throw was bad. But you know what? They ended up, and that was the other thing he said. He's like, well, Jalen's first throw, that was like a punt. I'm like, it was first down. Like, what do that's what you got to say, Jalen. You can't make that throw. You can't have that interception. Now, the defense ends up making a play, and it's 7-7. And, obviously, you're out of it, basically. But still, they got to, look what happened with Wentz. And Wentz, look, it's definitely partially Wentz's fault, but it's also partially Doug's fault. Doug let put the whole offense around Carson and, changed from what it was when they won the Super Bowl. They wanted him to be Superman. And Doug was part of the reason that broke Carson. It really was. I mean, just not running the ball and his offense was definitely a part of the reason that Carson's confidence got shot. And he's going to do the same thing here in with Jalen Hurts. And we're going to be, and there's a lot of rumblings now that we're going to be going for Watson. And then, that's not fair for Jalen. I mean, 3 starts and now you're already, like I said to you, Coach, he was going to have the shortest leash in the history of football. Yeah. And it really looks like, and that isn't fair. It really isn't. We'll see what happens, but you got to put the kid in situations to succeed, just like last week in Chicago with Justin Fields. Nagy never put him in a situation to succeed, and that's that's on the coach. I mean, and just like I said, which I believe Monday night was on Sirianni the most. Look, penalties are on coach. And they lead league in the penalties with penalties, the Eagles, and just dumb mistakes. They're just making a lot of mistakes. So my rant's over. I'm sorry, Coach.
It's good. I mean, week one. I mean, we're ready to fire up the Mummers, and now all of a sudden, we can't get Sirianni out of town fast enough. I just, but so is sports in the city of brotherly love, man. That's the way it rolls. And of course, you go up the turnpike a little ways, you got the same issue. I mean, Joe Judge his seat's on fire, because you're kind of, and I think part of it is you're seeing those mistakes.
That should be Gettleman. Gettleman's seat should be on the most part.
Right, I mean, absolutely. But I think Joe Judge is compounding it with asking to review, losing a timeout because you're asking to review a play that can't be reviewed. I mean, come on, stupid things like that. And you preach this discipline and all you see is the Giants false start here. You can't. And I don't know why we're talking about a lot of people like the Giants today. I just don't see it going down to the Silverdome. Not Silverdome. What do they call that thing now? I don't even know. But the Silverdome is in Detroit.
Ford Field.
That would be in Detroit. I'm trying to talk. New Orleans is.
It's Superdome.
Superdome. I got the S part right.
I think it's the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
Yeah.
They all got the naming rights now. They all got them.
So you're expecting the Giants to go down there today and win a football game. It's the first football game played since the hurricane. It's their first true home game for the Saints. And, I mean, we all know what happened last time there was a hurricane and they got to play a home game. That place was electric, and I just don't think the Giants have a chance today.
We got a fan club there, Coach?
Yeah, man. I mean, the place is packed here, man. The place is packed.
All right, now, Coach. So obviously, you said going down New Orleans today. Any chance that the Giants win today?
There's always a chance. There's always a chance, but I don't like that chance.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm off the Giants. I mean, as you know, the last couple of weeks, the Giants, I thought they were going to win, and it didn't happen. And I'm off the Giants. I just can't. I like this Thibodeau kid. I hope the Giants don't win a football game.
And to me, that's the hanging offense of Gettleman is Kadarius Toney. You look at this defensive line, you look at this offensive line, and it's like, why? You're not the Bucs where you have the luxury to pick for depth. You had holes, and obviously this team had major holes.
I'm sitting here. Actually, I'm writing an email. I'm on the way to the gym, and I saw your email. So
yeah,
I'm writing an email now.
I can't.
I mean, that could make.
I can't. They're actually in the other room, so I can't see them. So
okay.
But I told you a lot going on here, man. So
okay.
One of the things
Sammy thinks Jameis is going to crap the bed.
And that's a possibility, though. It's a big game. Jameis Winston in a big game. I don't know. So that's why the Giants, you creep in a little bit that there's that chance because of Jameis.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and look, too, the Saints, I feel like the two games everybody expected them to lose, they ended up winning. And the one game everybody expected them to win, they lost. So we'll see. But it is going to be tough, like you said, first game in,
because every general manager wants to have, hey, I want to have a car out of 6.
You got to tell him, we can't do this.
I want to have a car out of 6.
I can't.
Get your headphones on,
as you well know.
It's because it's going to be, it's going to be all show.
Yeah, I know. I did. Let me see what I can do here. So, all right, hold on a minute.
Oh, no. What are you doing? Oh, so he goes out and leaves me alone. Let's put him back in. When you go out for a fan, let's everybody like, yo, everybody say, yo, can you see me doing a show here? Are you limping?
Yeah, I have a broken leg, you dumbass.
Oh, I thought it was fixed. I didn't know.
Well, it's kind of fixed. It's still, I mean, I still walk with a limp. I mean,
okay,
it's what it is. So
we get to see Coach's ceiling fan. All right, perfect.
Yeah, now we got the ceiling fan in there. So
way to adjust during the game. Proud of you.
Yeah, that's what you got to do, man. You got to do some adjustments, and so that's what happens. You got a big get stuff going on here.
All right, so now we'll go into the Eagles today, and man, the Eagles tough stretch too. I mean, you have obviously the Chiefs today, and it's not just the Chiefs. You got the Chiefs coming off, 2 losses. So, obviously, I think the Eagles, it's going to be tough for that. I don't foresee the Eagles winning. Then next Sunday, you got the Panthers.
Thanks, Sammy. Yep, I know. Try to make those adjustments, man.
Yeah. You got the Panthers next Sunday, and then you play on a short week the Bucks. So, we could be looking at 1-5 here in Philly. I mean, it's very possible because, like I said, I just don't see Andy Reid going for his 100th win as Chiefs coach,
Right.
which I'm sure he'd like to do in Philly because he'd be the first coach ever to win 100 games with 2 different teams. So, yeah, I think maybe you could have said something to him that you're doing the show, like told him. So because he's still. I'm just saying,
It is what it is, man.
That's why
I have the headphones in, but obviously they don't.
Yeah,
work.
obviously they ain't doing much. So, yeah, but no, I don't think the Eagles can win today. I just think it's going to be too much. Maybe they keep it close, but I just don't foresee them winning.
Yeah, and we can set up the back end of the tool.
Right. That's basically what it is, man.
Yeah.
So I don't see. I don't see the Eagles. Yeah, at least you got the 1 win. Be happy you got 1.
Yeah.
I don't see the Giants getting a win. I could look down that schedule. I think the Bears are the only win I see for the Giants. I mean,
no, I don't think the Giants are going to be 1-16. They're not that bad. I mean, they're bad, but
where? Look at that schedule. I mean, where do you see a win?
They could beat Washington. They could beat the Eagles. There's games in there. There's games in there. How about who do we play? The AFC West is going to be tough.
Yeah, I don't see a win for the Giants coming up anytime soon. I just don't.
No, it's going to be ugly. And the one thing I'm hoping for the Eagles, which could be huge, Coach, and it's something to look for, is the Colts. And I kind of wonder if they're going to pull some BS because, Coach, the Colts. Now, what are you doing?
Oh, I didn't realize the door came open.
Today?
That's why the door came open, so I shut the door.
Oh my God. Dude! Wow. The door. You didn't know the door was open. Are you?
No, I didn't see the door open.
Sorry, Coach's elevator doesn't go to the top floor.
Look, got a little partly cloudy this morning, man.
There's
mostly
no
cloudy.
There's no excuses. Now, what was I? Now I lost my train of thought because you're a shit show. So what was I saying? Do you remember? Because I completely lost my train of thought.
We were talking about the Giants being able to get a victory here. I just don't see it.
The Colts.
Oh, the Colts, right. The Colts.
So the Colts today, obviously playing on the road at the Dolphins. Quentin Nelson just goes on IR. Wentz is questionable. Jonathan Taylor, their great running back, is questionable. If the Colts lose today and drop to 0-4, that's the Eagles' first-round pick. And I really wonder if, let's say the Colts just go on this bad run and end up being 2-8, whatever it may be. I think they may bench Wentz because of that first-round pick so that he doesn't pay. Because, obviously you're going to have a top 5, top 10 pick. You don't want to go with the Eagles. Maybe you say, Wentz, look, we're just going to put you on the bench because –
or that injury, he can't go. They'll put him on IR, one of those.
Right, because you don't want to give up a top 5 or 10 pick. You want to give up that second-round pick to the Eagles, not the first-round pick. So I think the Colts may try and – so honestly, if you're an Eagles fan, I think you kind of hope the Colts are in it somewhat. You know what I mean? Where they can make a playoff spot, which is possible in the AFC South because, I know the Titans are 2-1, but I don't think that Titans defense leaks holes too. So I'm curious to see what their record's going to be at the end of the year. I think, like I said, I'm hoping the Colts turn it around. Because, I don't want it to be 2-8 and then they bench Carson because I think he had to play 70% of the snaps. So, if they sit him the last 4 or 5 games, then Stiz is getting inducted into the Cornhole Hall of Fame today. So, no Stiz today. Yeah, he is the looks and the personality of the show. There's no doubt about it. But he is getting inducted into the Cornhole Hall of Fame, Stiz.
Yeah, he's getting a cornhole, all right.
Now, Coach, obviously, huge game tonight. Tom Brady returning to Foxboro. To me, it doesn't get any better than this. just the storyline, the back, everything. How do you see the game going tonight?
This is a tough game because I think Bill's going to have it ready, going to have them somewhat ready, but you got that rookie quarterback who's mistake prone,
right?
And I think this is going to be a lot closer than what people think, but I still think Brady gets his 30-second win against the 32nd team. I think it happens.
I agree. And you got to look, too. Let's not forget, Gronk's out, and he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. And that's still, he is really big, especially in the red zone for Brady. Now, you do get AB back, but I think even bigger, JPP's out. So you lose one of those pass rushers. But that defense, I can't, which is stunning to me, that Bucs defense has not played well. They're a bottom 5 defense right now. I mean, they need to step it up, and you would hope against a very simplified Patriots offense, this would be the week. But yeah, I think, the thing I love, Coach, everybody's talking, they think Brady, this is going to be like nothing he's ever seen. He's going to come in and push too hard. This guy's played in 9 Super Bowls. Right. If you think, because he's going home to Foxboro, the thing's going to be too big for Brady, get out of here. Look, it's going to be a good matchup. Joe, I agree with you. Joe, I got a teaser later in the show. I think is a lock. It's my teaser lock of the year. I love it. And Joe, the thing is, when something looks too easy, usually you know how it is, Joe. You go the other way. Last week, it was the Seahawks game against the Vikings. This week, to me, and Joe, let me know what you think. Because the Browns being only one at the Vikings look so good to me, but it seems shady. It seems like the Vikings might be the side because I think the Browns should win. But you know how Vegas goes, Joe. What do you think? And there he is, the Hall of Famer, tailgating all here. Look at he's tailgating before his induction ceremony. No, but Stiz is at the Eagles-Chiefs game, so he's going to go personally watch the Eagles get their ass kicked. Yeah.
Now, listen, since you're talking about the Titans and everything, listen, Joe, if you can find this prop bet, bet it the over, okay? Derrick Henry, more rushing yards than the total Jet offense.
Right.
Take the over. You heard it from Coach, okay?
Oh, that's great. No, and how couldn't you? But Coach, the one thing you got to be aware of, though, that Titans defense isn't great. It isn't great. Right. A little bit better the last 2 weeks, but and Joe, I'm with you. Straight up, I'm with you. I agree. I agree 100%. I think Dallas at home, Carolina, no McCaffrey, and also Carolina, look, they're playing well. Let's not, I know people say the opponents. Carolina's a better team. But people don't think, too. Also, J.C. Horn, quarterback, got hurt, too, in that secondary. That's going to hurt, too. I agree with you, Joe. I think today's going to be that game where the Panthers come back down to earth a little bit today. So, and look at a little revenge on Darnold. So, Coach, Rams-Cardinals, another big game. And it starts, too, because, NFC West, you start and next week we're going to have 2 more division games. So all 4 teams will play division games next week, which will be exciting. But today you get a first game and early, but it's still with this NFC West and how competitive it's going to be, Coach. 2 3-0 teams, it's a big game early in the season.
It's huge, and again, I think Arizona's fugazi, and I don't think they're no match today. Today, that late game, I like the Rams all over. Matthew Stafford's going to light up that defense. I think.
No, I could see, but Kyler Murray's an issue.
Kyler Murray will keep them in the game.
I think it's a trap game, in a sense that you're coming off that huge win against the Bucs. I mean, probably their biggest win, in LA in a while. I know they were in the Super Bowl, but still, man, that was a big win, a huge win for Stafford's career. You know what I mean? Because everybody, that's been his biggest thing. You can't beat good teams. His record was horrendous. Now, I know he was on the Lions, but gonna be interesting. Obviously in LA, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think on that game, Coach. I really do. But going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. So you think it's a blowout, Coach?
I don't know that it's going to be a blowout, but I think the Rams win handily. 37-27, something like that.
Okay.
It's going to be a high-scoring affair, but I just don't think. I just think the Rams pull away.
Okay. Now back to the Patriots Bucks game. I don't know if you heard about the book being written. What do you think about, if it's true, Brady wanting to meet with Bill Belichick before he, obviously left, and Belichick saying he couldn't and basically doing a phone call? Don't you think that's a real, even though I understand he's leaving and all, but to me, they wouldn't give him the contract he wanted.
Right.
And not just that, Brady was taking team-friendly deals for years. You know what I mean? And look at what he had around him. And I think that was the other thing. He said, I want players around me. Because that offense, and even since he's left, they still haven't put the players there. They overpaid for 2 tight ends who are doing nothing. And I think that's one of Mac Jones's problems. But no, don't you think a little low for Bill Belichick not to at least meet Brady face to face?
That's true. I think, you had a 20-year, relationship and just a phone call, but I don't really put stock into that. Well, the other thing was, Brady called the 49ers, reached out and said, look, no, nothing. I just want to come and play. I want my parents to be able to drive to the stadium and see me play.
Right.
And they said, no, thanks. And look at the quarterback problems that they're, they had Jimmy G. Now you got to go draft a quarterback.
And honestly, it worked out for Brady, though, Coach. Because who knows? I'm never going to say he couldn't have won a Super Bowl in San Francisco. He might have. But I like the weapons better in Tampa Bay. San Francisco, not much on the outside. Now you got a very good offensive line. They got a couple running backs there. But I don't love the players on the outside. But still, with Brady, with that defense, now they did have a bunch of injuries last year.
You got Kittle you bring. I'm sure wherever Brady went,
maybe he
I'm
would
sure
have brought
Gronk
AB
comes out and would have brought those guys. I think
Now we're talking. If you bring in AB and Gronk to that Niners team, and look, that I think the Niners will question themselves, because can you imagine if you make that move, and then let's not forget, Coach, you don't need to make that trade then to go get Trey Lance. You could have put more players onto this team, and definitely this year and last year, they would have been right in the thick of things.
Yeah.
And I know they are this year in a sense, but ultimately, I think their quarterback situation will cost them. I don't think the 49ers can make a Super Bowl run, and I think it's because of their quarterback situation. I said, you saw in that Packers game. I think when you get into these big games, it too, Coach. You need that guy who can have the ball in his hands in the fourth quarter and make plays. And that's my biggest question about Jimmy G. And remember, Coach, in the Super Bowl, I said it. I said it was going to come down to Jimmy G need to make a play in the fourth quarter, and he wasn't going to do it. And what happened?
You're right. And he didn't. Missing wide open guys. Had every opportunity to win that football game and couldn't do it.
And that was a touchdown. And that was a touchdown, Coach. Another big game today, Coach. Kind of going to let you. I'm really excited for this game too, because Denver versus Baltimore. It's going to give you a good barometer, I think, of where Denver's at. Because I like Denver. I think they're a good team. Everybody wants to say I haven't played anybody, but I'm telling you, that defense is good. You draft Surtain at corner. You bring in Fuller. Bradley Chubb's hurt, but Von Miller's back. He's making plays. And when they get Bradley Chubb back, when you got 2 plus 10 sack guys to rush the quarterback, you got a very good secondary. And now you got Teddy Bridgewater, who's coming in and making plays, not making the mistakes Drew Lock made, and taking what defenses get him.
Right.
You're going to be tough to beat. I like the Broncos a lot. What do you think, Coach?
I agree, except.
What's up, Sammy?
Baltimore, you got Le'Veon Bell getting promoted. He's going to see some playing time. Who, for the life of me, can't figure out why he's not in a Buffalo uniform, because they are that running back, Le'Veon Bell type running back away from, probably going to the Super Bowl, even though they are my Super Bowl team. But back to that, I just think that, we're not talking about a team that throws the football a lot. So Von Miller isn't going to have those sack opportunities, unless Denver can score a lot of points. And I just don't see that happening against that Baltimore defense, which has some holes, but I just don't see them running away with it where, Von Miller's going to be able to just pin his ears back because, let's face it, it's the wing tee of the NFL, and that's Baltimore, and they're going to be running the football. Yeah,
no, I agree. And I think that's going to be a tight, close game, and it's probably going to come down to who makes mistakes, who turns the ball over, who doesn't. My question is going to be, I think Teddy Bridgewater will have some success throwing the ball. And I hate to say it because Lamar's a dynamic player. Lamar's a winner. I mean, since he's been in the NFL, he's second in wins to Patrick Mahomes. But my question is when you get into these type of games where you're playing very good defenses, can Lamar throw the ball? And, look, to me, if you look to this year, the Ravens could be 0-3. I mean, they really could. You got a Chiefs fumble and a 66-yard field goal away from being 0-3, guys. I mean, let's be realistic. They're a Chiefs fumble, and the Chiefs fumbled on the Ravens 25. They were about to just end the game and kick a field goal, and Andy was just being Andy, which he can do sometimes. And then last week, you hit a 66-yard miracle field goal. Or the Ravens could be goose egg right now, 0-3. So you need to pick. Sammy, I like your Cowboys today. I really do. I like the Cowboys today. Like I said, I got more picks too, but I do. Sammy, I like your Cowboys today. I really do, to close out that parlay. All right, Coach. So real quick too, I do want to give out. Stiz gave me his prop bet of the week. Stiz going with Randy Bullock over 1.5 made field goals. So that's going to be Stiz's prop bet of the week, 34-10 last year. And then Stiz's lock of the week, Sammy, we all got off well, not all. Coach is still goose egg. Still looking for his first win. Stiz gave out his first, or his lock of the week. He's going to go with the Lions +3. So that was
a game I looked at. I like the Lions. I really like the Lions.
I agree with it. I agree with it. I like the Lions too. Look, the Lions, you can say it's the Lions are 0-3. The one thing that you got to give Dan Campbell credit for, those guys are playing hard for him. I honestly felt bad for them last week. They should have beat the Ravens. They won that game. I know you say, well, no, they won that game. And two, Coach talked about on Monday, they got screwed by the officials too. I mean, false start, and trust me, that field goal didn't have another 5 yards, Coach. You know what I mean? That field goal didn't have another 5 yards. It bounced and then went over. So they got screws. They got Justin Fields is starting again, and I'm kind of surprised about that, Stiz. Now you are playing the Lions, so maybe they're hoping they can have some success. But like I said, I think the Lions have been playing tough. They really have. I mean,
he has to wear some extra knee pads because they bite knees and stuff over there in Detroit.
They do bite knees, Coach. That's a hell of a point, Coach. Always with the, But it's going to be. And look, Goff has played decent. It's just the mistakes with him. You look in that Green Bay game; they're playing Green Bay tough.
Right, they're tied at halftime. I mean, they played a great first half, but
Joe, he doesn't look good. But, man, with that offensive line right now, Joe, getting sacked 9 times.
Come on, you have Justin Peters who's on Social Security. I mean,
Jason Peters.
Leaves his walker on the sideline.
Joe, I have a lot of questions too, but it's so hard to evaluate when there were some times, literally, he said Hut, he was back and there was fucking guys in his face. It's really tough to evaluate. But you know what, Nagy too, get that guy using his legs. You know what I mean? Do some things. Get him doing some RPOs. Roll him out. so he can use his legs. Matt Nagy, he won with Mitch Trubisky at one point, which I don't know how he did, and now he just looks like a moron back there. But see, you know what? That's the NFL. In the NFL, even in college, you need to be able to evolve. And I think that was one of Doug Peterson's problems. You got to evolve with the league. And I don't think Doug can do that. I don't think, obviously, Matt Nagy's done that. So, yeah, I mean, Joe.
Looks bad off of Andy's tree because they both came off of Andy's tree.
Yeah. Well, Doug still won a Super Bowl, and he'll always have that. But I think it tells you when, supposedly he might get interviewed for the USC job.
Hey, like someone who used to come on this show, a broken clock is always right twice a day, okay?
Yeah, but Coach, winning a Super Bowl, I mean.
Yeah, you're right.
That wasn't like Barry Switzer, where you had so much talent like me and you could have been calling the plays for that team. That Eagles team was good, don't get me wrong. But with the backup QB, he did a hell of a job that year. He really did.
Right.
But he did have a very good team, too, who played their asses off for him. All right, Coach, I'm going to get into my picks here. All right, and I'm giving out. I'm not going to call it my lock of the year because it's a teaser, so I don't think it's fair. The lock of the year to me should be one game you're picking straight up, so I'm not going to call that my lock of the year. But it's going to be my teaser lock of the year. But as Joe said earlier, I'm going with the Cowboys. That is wrong. I apologize. That should be Cowboys -4. Cowboys -4, not +4. I apologize about that. So I like
guys
Cowboys.
working the thing.
At least I'm honest. That's Cowboys -4. I really like them today. I think they're going to come out. They're going to run the football. That offense is clicking on all cylinders. Dak,
you're right, Joe. I think it could be ugly for the Giants.
Yeah. I like the Cowboys -4. And you know what's even more impressive? That defense is playing well. It really is. It really is. Trayvon Diggs. I mean, Mekhi Parsons, just give him Rookie Defensive Player of the Year right now because to me, he's already – it's a lock almost unless he gets hurt. I mean, the kid's playing defensive end, linebacker. He's all over the field, side to side, the speed, and then the skills he has to be an edge rusher. I mean, he's so versatile. Man, it bothers me when I see him play because I like Devonta Smith, but I watch Parsons and I'm like, man, he could have been in Philly. And – man, could Philly use a linebacker like that on that defense? I mean, he changes the course of the defense, and it's also making players around him better. Van Der Esch obviously is better because of him. Jalen Smith is a better football player because of Parsons. I mean, he's easily Rookie Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, the guy actually might have a chance at Defensive Player of the Year. That's how highly I think of him. But yeah, I'm going to go Cowboys -4 in my first game. My second game, Cardinals +4.5. I'm going to take the 4.5. I could see the Rams sneaking this one out by a field goal, much like they did in Indianapolis. But I'm telling you, this is that trap game. That Rams, everybody loves the Rams now. And it happens all the time where you see it in college a lot. Like Arkansas last week upsets Texas A&M. And then they're getting 18 from Georgia. So everybody bets it down, takes the 18. Georgia smokes them. Like, you see it all the time. Where these teams get huge wins, and the next week, look, the Rams are the talk of the league now. They're going to win a Super Bowl. Stafford's MVP. I just think this is a bad spot for them. I like Cardinals +4.5. I do think the Rams can still win the game, but I could see the Rams winning, Cardinals covering. Give me the 4.5 in a tough division game. Cardinals played them well last year. I like Cardinals +4.5. My next game, I'm going to go with the Lions +3. I agree with Stiz. I think they've played well. I think today they're going to go out and get their first victory for their head coach. I like the Lions today. I just think they're more balanced than the Bears. I think that Bears offensive line's really struggling. Maybe Justin Fields can make some plays with his legs, but I question it. Joe said I could see him struggling. I think the Lions honestly are the better team right now. I mean, you see them play the Packers and the Ravens really tough. I mean, and the Niners, I know they were beating up on them, but they made a hell of a comeback. So they played 3 pretty good tough games, all within one score. So I like the Lions +3. Then I'm going to go against the trend here. Everybody's going to think I'm nuts, but I'm going to take the Giants +7.5. Buy the hook if it's 7. I think the Saints. I think the Giants are going to keep it close. Look, this is an 0-3 team playing for. They're playing. I know you think, but they're playing for something. I think the Saints probably do win this game, but I see the Giants covering the 7.5. Take the Giants plus 7.5. And then here's my teaser lock of the year. I love this. I'm telling you, this is my biggest bet I'm going to make in a long time. Last year I had a teaser in the playoffs. It was Chiefs-Packers in the divisional round. Loved it. I said, I loved it. I love this one just as much. Chiefs -0.5 in Philly. Bucks -0.5 in New England. I love it. That's my teaser lock of the year. I love this game. If there's one game that concerns me, I am a little concerned with the Bucks. No Gronk, no JPP. Obviously Belichick's seen Brady play for 20 years, probably knows his weaknesses. But you know what? Brady's also practiced against that defense for 20 years, and he knows what they like to do. So, and I think Brady's got more tools. When it comes down to two guys like that, I think it's going to come down to who has the better roster, and I think that's obviously the Bucs. So I love this. I love that teaser. Take it to the bank. So now, coach's lock of the week
is the LA Rams.
Yeah, -4.5.
Yeah.
So, Coach trying to go 0-3. He's trying to get
off the snide here, man.
Giants are 0-6 combined.
Terrible, man. Terrible.
Yeah, Joe, I hope you're wrong because I got a feeling I think they're going to cover the Giants. And it's the thing with the Saints too. That offense isn't really explosive. They have a good roster. They can run the football. But the one thing you got to watch out for, too, is Jameis making mistakes. And in their 2 wins, they got a lot of mistakes from Aaron Rodgers. They got three mistakes from Mac Jones last week. And, we'll see. But I think the Giants keep it close today.
All right, we'll see.
Stiz rooting you in.
Thanks, Stiz. I appreciate it, buddy.
Stiz, we missed you today, buddy. Looking forward to having you next Sunday. Looking forward to it. And obviously, Coach, you want to take us out? I guess we'll be doing tomorrow night. Yeah, we'll be doing. Join us tomorrow night. Big Monday night matchup: the Raiders and the Chargers. A friend of the program out there, so that should be a great game. So we'll cover that. We'll recap all today's action and see how Nick's picks worked out. Yeah, and we'll see if Coach gets off the snide as well. So yeah, big game for Raiders, Coach. Make sure you share this with your friends. Share it out. Like our page. Go over, subscribe, YouTube and stuff. Ring the bell. We appreciate everyone. Stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night.